Good morning, everybody. I'm Bart Winkler. That is Ryan Horvat next to me, virtually and on your radio or Apple device, or Ryan, really, wherever you get your podcast. I had a guy reach out to me, said, I didn't do podcast. And then I saw you were on and I hesitated. And then I listened and I enjoy it because it's your show with just some light swearing, not too much, but enough to feel rebellious. And yeah, I said, frick yeah.
Today, there'll be no swearing for me. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to start off the pod by saying there'll be no swearing. I know I dropped a couple last week. I was all fired up. I also had a couple coffees in me. I'm on coffee number 1. Was that guy Steve Sparky Pfeiffer by chance? Because I talked to Sparky the other day, and we were talking about podcasts, and he was like, yeah, never listened to a podcast before. And I'm like, get out of here. And he's like, yeah, I've never listened to a podcast ever in my life. He's like, I tried last week or something like that. I'm like, how though? I guess I understand, like, maybe you've never listened to, but I mean, that's the way that, like, everybody I listen to now, that's the way that they've went. You, Bart Winkler, Ryan Russillo, everybody kind of left the corporate scene and does their own thing. But I guess maybe you don't listen to those type of podcasts, but like if you miss a show, you don't go back and listen to the podcast. Maybe not, though. Like, Stern doesn't even have a podcast. Guess I never thought about it like that. Anyway.
Yeah, once I go podcast, that means, like, because I would lay on the train tracks for terrestrial radio. But once I go podcast, that it's serious business.
Yeah. Would you consider yourself, like, right now, like, if you do your LinkedIn page, do you put, like, podcaster? Like, I know, like, Chris Long, like, that's what he goes by now, like, former NFL player, current podcast.
Also part of this great Blue Wire network.
We should. Good. Then we could shout him out because that is a tremendous podcast. When you get done listening to this, you should listen to the Green Light podcast. Not many things like I need to listen to. I do listen to every single episode. I get a kick out of it. I laugh. I cry. I spew, to steal the tagline from Wayne's World 2.
Yeah, Blue Wire's got a lot of good stuff. There's a clip that went around this week from the Pick a Side podcast where this guy was getting heated that Kevin Durant's not legendary. And then Kevin Durant, like, quote tweeted it. Of course he did. But yeah. So check it out, Blue Wire. All of our podcasts available on Apple, on Spotify, on Google, and wherever you get your podcast. The Packers played the Patriots during the game. Paul Chris got fired. I texted you that. You said, I don't care. Sometimes I forget that you don't care.
No. I do care, and I'm glad to see Jim Leonard get his shot. We literally just talked about this on the last podcast, how I think Jim Leonard should be a head coach. No, I didn't care because the Packers were losing to Bailey Zappi, but go on.
Well, yeah, so Rodgers said they need to play better. Obviously, they do. So the post-game show, I, of course, just rip on Rodgers because that's, like, my thing. But I'm a little worried about my my world-famous defense here not being able to stop the run. And I really love Saquon Barkley, and he is back. Yeah. He actually was in the same backfield at Penn State as Miles Sanders, which people don't realize. Or they forget they're division rivals now. But if you can't stop, like, I don't know, the New England backfields, it's always like these two guys that share and then they go somewhere else. And then who are they?
Yeah.
And James White for 8 years.
Yeah.
But if you can't stop those two guys and you couldn't stop Montgomery, Saquon's going to eat him alive, I worry about. And we'll get more into that later. But the run defense right now is my fear.
Yeah, same. Somebody needs to set an edge. Like, if you go back and you watch the tape, that's the problem.
Set the edge, fill the A gap.
No. And I hate to be that guy, but seriously, like, if you go and you watch the film, especially last week against New England, like, it makes sense, okay, against Minnesota week 1, against an explosive back like Dalvin Cook. But at the same time, dude, it really doesn't, because Minnesota last year, you just see Dalvin Cook and you think, okay, 1,000-yard rusher, 1,200-yard rusher, one of the top backs in the league, but they had one of the worst rushing offenses in the National Football League. And then look at what they do, like week 2 against Philadelphia, against a solid defensive line. They weren't really able to get anything going because their offensive line stinks and they're not getting any push. So I do have some concerns, but also at the same time, like, I guess that's kind of the defense this year, like bend but don't break, because they force a lot of uncomfortable situations, 3rd and long, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, and they do get off the field, and the secondary's been great. Hopefully Jair is able to get back on the field here soon. Fully healthy Jair, not like 80% Jair. That was a weird injury where it looked like, okay, if it's a groin, it's going to be 3 to 4 weeks probably, unfortunately. And then he was like practicing on Monday or Tuesday, and then he obviously wasn't practicing. And I'm fine. The best part about the secondary, and I love Jair, you don't have to rush him back, especially this week against New York. And I never like to count victories before they happen, obviously, but we don't know who the hell the quarterback's going to be because they're both beat up. And that's the worst wide receiver room in the National Football League. I put it up there with the Chicago Bears.
The Giants?
Oh, God, yeah. It's awful, man. Like, yeah, a bunch of big-name guys, but, like, Sterling Shepard every year, that's a devastating injury.
Why don't they play Kadarius Toney?
Well, he's hurt. He's been hurt, man. And, like,
they tell him to be hurt. They don't like him.
We should take him off their hands. Kenny Galladay is so washed. He sucks.
Yeah, what happened there?
He got paid, and then he just fell off a cliff. So what I'm saying is
Galladay, Slayton, Toney, and Shepard, that shouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
That's better than what we have.
Yeah, but they have Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor, and we have Aaron Rodgers, who I know you hate him, but as you see him here in the
Not on game days.
Oh, not on game days.
No.
Yeah. So I don't think you need to rush him back this week. But I'm with you. Some concerns about the run defense, man. Thought this was going to be like a top 5 defense in the league. And they're still really good, though. So it's still really early. I think they'll be all right.
All right. I did want to play one voicemail from Hot Take Jake. Yesterday's show was our Brewers in memoriam, where we went through everything that was wrong with the team. I know, Horvat, you gave that one 3 listens.
You know what, really quickly, before you even play this email, I promised I wouldn't swear, but you're really tempting me to drop an F-bomb right now. F your Brewers. F them to hell. If Paul Bearer was here, he'd say, damn you, Brewers. Damn you to hell. Because those buttheads, I put trust in your team. I came on your show, and I gave the prediction that they were going to win the NL Central. Now, luckily, I hedged off of that, but I only got my money back pretty much because I grabbed the Cardinals plus 250 when they were 4 games back, and they decided at the trade deadline, hey, let's try to go to the postseason. So they acquired Jordan Montgomery. They acquire Jose Quintana, and all they give up pretty much is Harrison Bader, and they already have the bats with Arenado, Goldschmidt, and whatever the hell has happened with Albert Pujols. We'll see if that continues in the postseason. Amazing that guy's been on a milk carton, and now all of a sudden he's batting like 280 and setting records. But the Brewers, if anybody out there still sticks up for your boy Stearns, they're insane because he sucks. Because you trade away Josh Hader, and you could say that's the right decision. Maybe it was.
Well, he kind of admitted that he didn't realize it was going to be as bad as it was.
And the clubhouse just was like, F this. We thought we were going all in. And you don't add any bats. Like when you're relying on Hunter Renfroe, the corpse of Christian Yelich. You've already DFA'd Lorenzo Cain. That was a very winnable division, even with the Cardinals being so solid or better than we thought. I mean, look at their arms, dude. Miles Michaelis, Adam Wainwright. What a wasted year for the Brewers pitching staff. And that's all I have to say about your Brewers. Screw them.
Well, here's the email, or the voicemail rather, from Hot Take Jake.
What's going on? Bartholomew, Milwaukee. It's your boy Hot Take Jake here. Just finished listening to your Brewers season recap, and man, I got to tell you, I'm so disappointed in you, Milwaukee. I tried to tell you guys, back in June, this team sucks. They weren't going to win a World Series, and I didn't understand why everybody was so upset, thinking, oh, they need to trade for a bat, they need this. They weren't a bat away, guys. They were 5 bats away. They were 7 bats away. That offense just sucked out loud. There was nothing you could have done. And I was a villain because I tried to tell people that despite stupid cliches that you hear, pitching wins championships, guess what? You still need offense to get there. Anyways, all I want to say is, for you Milwaukee Brewers fans out there, like I kind of like the Brewers. They're like my distant, like 4th in my fandom here. But you really can't be upset about this whole situation. This is like a carbon case of don't hate the player, hate the game. And in this case, it's like literal. Like you don't hate the Brewers right now. You're not mad at the Brewers. You should just be mad at baseball. Baseball sucks. I don't know why it's so, like, controversial to say this. I've been saying it for years. People trick themselves into thinking they like baseball. Because when baseball comes back, it's springtime, summer's coming. And here in the Midwest, where, we take alcoholism like it's a joke, people love to go stand in a parking lot and wear the same T-shirt as their friends are wearing and drink alcohol during the day because they think it makes them feel cool, despite the fact that most of these people are adults. And, I mean, is it really that cool to day drink anymore? Like, I don't know. I feel like I was kind of over that at, like, age 25. Anyways, back to my original point. Baseball's fucking stupid.
So that's hot take, Jake.
Well, that's some stuff right there that he gets to swear and I don't get to. Hey, I'll say this, all right? So Jake had me, like, I'm with him on baseball. He lost me at day drinking. Day drinking still very cool. And also, going with the hot takes, I think that's Jacob from the South Side, the Jordan Love fan, right?
Yeah, he's hot take Jake now.
Is he still Team Jordan Love?
I'll have to have him send me a voicemail. And you can send your voicemails at 402-915-BART, 402-915-BART. You can send your voicemails and we'll play them on the show. You sending me a call right now, buddy?
I was going to say, hey, you want to talk about baseball effing sucks. You know who else effing sucks? Jordan Love. Oh!
Hey, don't put that phone down. I got another number for you, and that's 414-427-5500. 414-427-5500. Want to thank our friends again at Golden Chicken as they're bringing you the picks. You beat me last week. Cone Roller had the update on yesterday's show. You beat me. My triple cluck of the week was the Lions to win by 12. That was bad. So he called me. He said that is worth 3 L's. So Cone Roller called me Bart Winkler. Which
did I get any extra points for the extra UCLA winner that I threw out for the Friday listeners?
I think you got an extra point for an over or under on one of the games, but you beat me. So it looks like final standings, you're back on top. I do want to just shout out again, Golden Chicken. They bring you these picks every week. Check them out, goldenchickenhc.com. They are open for delivery. They are open for catering 24/7. I'm going to buzz in there next week and pick up some. Well, God, what should I pick up?
Well, I'll tell you what you should pick up because I'll tell you what I would be picking up. So Saturday is actually, I'm sorry. Sunday is actually my birthday. October 9th is my birthday. So I wanted to go to London for the Green Bay Packers game because, it's my birthday and it's in London. So I figured that'd be cool. You want to talk about doing some day drinking? That's what I'd be doing in London, headbutting some extra fans. But unfortunately, I'll be watching the game from my couch. I wish I was in the Milwaukee area and not this dumpster fire of the East Coast, because what I would do, I would call 414-427-5500. I would get myself, you could obviously get like a bucket of chicken. They have so many different options. The mini tacos that I talked about, of course. I love the fries there. All the options.
For real, like I like their pizza.
The pizza's tremendous. But what I would do
every year we watch Home Alone and we order a cheese pizza when we put up our Christmas tree, and we always went to our local shop around the corner. They closed.
Well, that's
so we're looking for a new like pizza, and that's a tall responsibility. That's a Winkler family tradition.
Also, yeah. And then you could throw in some wings, or you could throw in a couple chicken breasts, because that's where I was going. Because obviously you could get the bucket of chicken. But the thing is, for me, I'm not a big dark meat guy, so I like the chicken breast. So I would order like 8 to 10 chicken breasts, and you could just do that. And sometimes some of these other chicken shops around here, not going to name any names on the East Coast, they don't allow me to do that. So I miss Golden Chicken, and I'm jealous. And if I was home for my birthday, that'd be my birthday meal. Probably about 14 chicken breasts, couple large fries, mini tacos, 2-tree, alcoholic beverages. That's what I would do.
Yeah, Golden Chicken bringing you this week's picks. So without further ado, the Thursday night game is the Colts and the Broncos. I had that on the small screen last night. I was watching Law and Order. And then Jonathan Taylor was hurt, so I was like, whatever. But what was the line on that one again last night?
The Broncos were 3.5-point favorites with both running backs not playing in that game. Jonathan Taylor, like you said, and then obviously Javonte done for the season for Denver. The total closed at 42.5. And yeah, I didn't really pay attention. I actually last night, me and some of the buddies hopped on the choppers and we just went and played some poker and smoked some cigars. So didn't watch that game really last night. Didn't do my job. Anyway, you want to move on? So the first game on Sunday.
Well, I had the Broncos.
I had the Colts.
Yeah. Well, one of us was right.
Yeah. Who was it though? So Sunday morning, bright and early. It is my birthday. Everybody send me a happy birthday. Okay. The big 27 I'm turning. Packers, Giants, but we obviously close with that game. So let's start with this one. But hey, let's do this. Hold on, let's do this. All right. The New York Jets, because this is my favorite bet of the weekend, right? The Jets are at home. They're 2-2 on the season. They played like absolute dump the first 3 quarters last week. Zach Wilson looked terrible. Then in the fourth quarter, he found some magic. Led them back to a comeback win. And the Jets are now 3-point dogs. Miami on the road, 3-point favorites in this game. No Tua. We're going to see Teddy Two Gloves, Teddy Bridgewater. All the guy does is cover. Total in the game is 46. I bet the Dolphins immediately on the money line, -140. That's all the way up to -175. But let's take into account here the point spread. What are you doing in this game? Miami taking on the Jets. Zach Wilson against Teddy Two Gloves.
God, I just don't believe in Zach Wilson at all. Because of that BYU Coastal Carolina game where that line ate him apart.
That was awesome. That game was so awesome, though.
The Dolphins, I feel like a lot of the Dolphins magic. God, I'm going to take the Jets.
Really? To win or just to cover the number here?
To cover the number. 3. What do you got? 3.5?
I'll give you a 3.5. Yeah.
What is it for you? 3?
Flat right now, though.
Give me the. God dang it.
Don't take the Lord's name in vain. This is also a Catholic podcast. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
Stone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby Bowden.
R.I.P. We lost a good one.
Oh, shoot. I actually forgot he passed. I'm sorry about that. R.I.P.
Well, when we were doing the Leroy show, I said, Leroy, why isn't Bobby inducting you?
No, you didn't.
He said, good one. And I said, you guys have a falling out or something? He goes, Bart, he's dead.
Like a major league. This guy here is dead. We'll cross him off the list then.
Jeez.
Hey, can I throw you something, though? Teddy Bridgewater, let me help you with this pick, right? Teddy Bridgewater, 42-21 against the spread as a starter, right? 24-6 against the spread on the road, end of the road. Good song, Boys the Men. He literally covers it at 80% clip on the road, Teddy Two Gloves. And the Dolphins.
Give me the Dolphins. I don't want to take the Jets. Give me the Dolphins.
Teddy might be better than Tua. They are going to roll the Jets.
Give me Two Gloves. What am I thinking? I've been the biggest Teddy stan since Paul Allen yelled at me once for liking Teddy Bridgewater.
Why, really?
I said, I think Teddy's good. He goes, how? You're not here. You don't see that. I said, I watch games, Paul. You don't see the practices. I said, what do you see that I don't? Then I ran into him in Vegas. He gave me $1 coin when I said hi to him, and I never talked to him again.
I forgot about Teddy's time there. All right, so
we're real quick too. I do want to let's do this. I do want to. I want to remind you. No, I mean Golden Chicken rules.
Yes,
and they're a part of it, and so is Happy Place Hemp. Oh. Talk to these guys this week. Happy Place Hemp, Horvat.
Tell me more.
I asked about you specifically.
Tell me more. I'm not in the area, unfortunately.
Well, Happy Place Hemp, you can check them out online. They do deliver discreet white boxes to your home. It's gummies. That's where I go for gummies. And I wasn't like a big gummy guy. I don't know. I was like, what is CBD?
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, come in and try one. And there's some in the morning that, like, to me, kind of sharpens you up a little bit. Just like the same reason you drink coffee. The ones I really like have the CBN and CBD. So they're like, they help me sleep. I can't sleep. Like I self-medicate drinking to sleep.
That's not healthy.
And I don't want to be drunk every night of my life.
Yeah, as you shouldn't.
So have a gummy before bed. I smell better. I'm not like checking my phone the next day trying to see what I tweeted.
Which is always good. Probably helps you with that anxiety. You know, you rest a little bit more. You're not checking your phone to see, oh, is Dak Prescott back this week or next week? Cooper Rush has been all right anyway. Hey, where did Cooper Rush go to college again? Wait, who did he play with? That's what happens with me. So, yeah.
I'm always like, which mid-market radio guy's career did I try to destroy last night for no reason? So I check them out, happyplacehemp.com. I do have a discount code.
What is it?
Bart.
B-A-R-T?
Yep. So if you go in there and mention me, or if you go to happyplacehemp.com and check out some of the CBD products, some of the Delta 8, Delta 9 products, which are legal, you can get 25% off your order. And that's not just your first order. It's every order. 25% off. Happyplacehemp.com.
You might need some Happy Place hemp to calm down after what I'm about to tell you here at this next game, all right?
Yeah, hit me.
Yep. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're at home. They're 9-point favorites. They're 2-2 this season. Brady's looks like he's going through a divorce. Him and Giselle just couldn't make it work, unfortunately. Coming to town, the 2-2 Dirty Birds. Atlanta is 2-2 this season. Marcus Mariota is pushing the ball down the field. They've been able to run the ball. They're finally using Kyle Pitts. Drake London has been solid as a rookie. They aren't the best defensively, but they've been making some plays. They get after the quarterback a little bit. This opened up as a 10.5-point spread. It's down to 9. I'm actually going to use Tampa Bay as my survivor pick because they're or do I use Buffalo as my survivor pick? Well, let's talk about that in a second. I actually need to pick your brain on this. I bet Atlanta, man. I bet them plus 10.5. I knew this line was going down. You know, if this is 7.5, I probably play Tampa Bay. I just think double digits was too many points. Atlanta's been pretty damn good. Arthur Smith's running a nice offense there. Mariota's looked really good. He's probably not going to be the quarterback next year, unfortunately, because it's either Desmond or they're going to be bad enough where they could draft one of these kids, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young. Although, are they going to be that bad? They're 2-2 right now. I like Atlanta to at least keep it close. I bet them plus 10.5. We'll call it 9. I'd still bet them plus 9. So give me the Falcons, the Dirty Birds.
So this one's tricky. I mean, we talk a lot about Rodgers and his personal life.
You talk a lot about Rodgers and his personal life.
Point taken. With Brady.
Rodgers is way cooler. Rodgers is like doing peyote and mushrooms.
Like there's been a vibe on Brady all season.
Drink coffee. Go on.
There's been a vibe on Brady all season where something's not right and he's not playing as well. And he's going through a big divorce. So is that affecting how I'm going to view these games? And the answer, pathetically, is of course.
Well, yeah.
So either Brady comes and plays sad and the Falcons cover, or Brady's like, I love you, football. You've always been the one. And he throws for 5 touchdowns.
Probably what happens.
I need a big Brady week because I keep thinking it's coming and I keep building my DFS around it. So I'm going to take a big Brady week.
Probably the best time to do so, man. Probably the best spot. At home, you know, Atlanta getting a little bit of love right now after moving to 2-2.
This is my 5-piece pick of the week.
Ooh.
Because I think Brady's thrown 5 touchdowns.
Okay. You're taking Tampa to cover the number too, right? Correct.
Yes. And for my guy, Gary Ellerson,
GE.
Last time we ordered chicken together, he likes all dark meat.
Does he?
Yep.
I eat all white meat.
He likes all dark meat.
I miss GE. We should get GE on the pod. We should do a threesome together.
I've always wanted to do a threesome with you and Gary.
Yeah, yeah. Who's the and what do you think about so really quickly though? and this probably somebody out there is probably listening to the pod and they haven't made their survivor pick, or maybe they've used Tampa, or maybe they've used Buffalo. Let me get your opinion on this. Buffalo at home. This is the next game we're going to regardless. Right now, I've picked Tampa as my survivor. I haven't used Buffalo yet, though, either. Buffalo's at home. They're 14-point favorites against Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett makes his first start on the road against this Bills team. Do I go Bills, actually? I think the Bills are the right call, right? Because I don't want to use the Bills in Survivor. I know everybody loves the Bills, and don't get me wrong, Bills are great. But do you notice the stuff that I'm talking about has started to take notice? Like, if you watch that game against the Ravens, man, like the Bills right now with Ken Dorsey, my biggest problem with the Bills and everybody, like, you know,
Miami
like,
legend.
Yeah, seriously. Shout out to Willis McGahee's knee. Guy had a hell of a career even after that. But so my problem with the Bills.
Yeah, when Leroy was giving his speech, I said, why don't you have Willis McGahee's knee introduce you? And Leroy said, because it's dead.
Anyway, so what I was saying is, if you watch these games, dude, right? Brian Dable's now the head coach, obviously, with the New York Giants. We're going to see him this week in London. I don't know if you know, guys, it's the London game. People forget. And so now Ken Dorsey takes over as the play caller. We've already seen him have that massive blow up. But if you watch, terrible on early downs, man. First down, run to Singletary, draw 2 yards. Second down, Josh Allen, incomplete. This year, they're converting on like 65% of their third downs, which is tops in the league. League average is like 35%. But, dude, that's all, like, they're relying on Josh Allen to be Superman on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. Look at that last game against Baltimore. 3rd and 9 on the first opening possession. He gets picked. Next drive, nearly gets picked again, and it's 3 and out, 3 and out. They need to be better on early downs, and they need to start using Zach Moss a little bit more. He's looked really good. And why did you draft James Cook if you're not going to use him? I get he's fumbled the ball, and he had a couple drops last week, but I think they should use him more. They suck on early downs. I would probably right now pick the Chiefs over them, to be quite honest. As much talent as they have. And they're all beat up on the defensive side of the ball. No Micah Hyde the rest of the year. That's huge. They're still great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like ragging on them. I'm just saying I don't think I'll use them the rest of the season. If I don't use them well, I will. But I think this is the perfect opportunity, right? 14-point favorites. All they got to do is win in Survivor. I'm picking Pittsburgh, by the way, to cover the – no, you know what? No. Give me Buffalo minus 14. I'm not really going to bet this game. And then I'll use them in Survivor. So I'm all about the Bills this week.
You know, there's been so many, like, good
Sorry for all that.
games.
I was like, talking that through my head. Yeah.
That there's got to be a week where there's some blowouts.
Yeah.
14 points is a lot.
The Steelers suck without your guy, TJ Watt. I know you're a big TJ Watt fan. You hate Derek. You love
I might take the Steelers at that number.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something a pussy would say. Can I say that?
It's your podcast, guy. If it was, if it was 14 and a half, 15, if I'm getting more than 2 scores and it becomes a 3-possession thing, I probably, grab me some Steelers.
Give me the Bills.
Yeah. Bills are pissed. I mean, they won last week, but they
Try
look
make them my double cluck of the week.
No.
28-point win.
No.
I'd say triple cluck, but then I have to do that math.
I wouldn't. What about this one? The Bears on the road. Oh, some line movement. This opened up at 6. It's all the way at 7.5. Minnesota, 7.5-point favorite in this game. Here's another one. I'm actually going to take the favorite in this game, man. I'm not going to actually bet this game, but if I were going to, I would bet Minnesota at home to cover the number against Chicago. The Bears are 2-2 this season, but they aren't 2-2, if you know what I mean. Like, that game, week 1 against San Francisco is a fluke because it's played underwater and Trey Lance dies on the field pretty much. Well, that's the next week, actually.
I asked Leroy, I said, never mind.
Vikings.
Now, this is a conversation that I never understood why my good old friend Chuck Freeman didn't see eye to eye with me on this one. Watching NFC North teams play each other is awful. Mm-hmm. I mean, even as much as I love the NFL, Bears-Vikings, I don't want to see a second of that game. I don't like these teams. I don't want to see them play each other. I'll watch the Bears play anybody. How did you get my background?
I was in your house.
That's for the video, friends. Because I do put the Friday ones on YouTube.
Do you?
Yeah. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I love it.
All right. Your house looks great, Horvat.
You guys don't think this is like MTV Cribs. All right. This
You
is
the
where.
same piano I do?
Yes.
Wow. All right. I don't know.
So,
I'm taking the Bears.
I'm still paying attention, just so you know. I have to walk in and plug something in my son's room. I don't want anybody to see my son's room.
Okay, that's fair. All right. I'm taking the Bears 7.5.
We bought my kid. Here's something that you're not dealing with yet. We bought my kid a Apple Watch.
Oh,
and
no.
so what? So sometimes when he's at school, like, and he gets a little break, he'll just text me. And he said, "Hey, Daddy, can you plug in my iPad for me?" I said, "Sure."
I want to have him have a device so that so that I know where he is.
Yeah, we track him. That's why he gets this stuff. Because my wife works for Apple, as you know. So I mean, she gets good discounts, and then like there's just tracking devices.
But I don't want him to be on his phone all day like I am.
He's going to be, though. Like, you just got to accept that. You know what I mean?
I talked about you with this. I said this to somebody where he was missing a toy, and I found a toy, and he was at school, daycare. And my first instinct was, oh, I got to text him that I found the toy.
Yeah. And pretty soon, that's the thing. You'll be able to soon. And
then I'm like, oh, wait a second. He's 3.
Yeah, like, I don't want them on, like, the devices all day. You got to give them other activities, but they're good to have, You can learn on them. They could be educational, or you could just, like, watch poop videos all day, like my kid does pretty much on the iPad.
Yeah, kids love poop. All right, I got the Bears.
All right, so you're rolling with the Bears. Love it. Love to hear it. All right, let's move on. Oh, my God. We got the Jags, 7-point favorites. The Texans, 7-point dogs. Jags
picked up their defense, Jacksonville.
For this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is a tough one because I really like the Jags, man. And they actually probably, they're up 14-0 against the Eagles. The problem was Trevor Lawrence just couldn't hang on to the ball in the wet conditions, which I guess that's going to be a thing whenever he plays in the rain because they went and, like, found this game from Clemson where he was terrible in the rain. But I'm actually going to take the Texans. They're not good. They're 0-3-1, but they played these games competitive. And I just think 7 points is a little bit too much. Like, Jacksonville's look good, but I don't know that they're 7 points better than anybody right now. So give me the Texans +7. Davis Mills season.
This is going to be my pick of the week. As in, I think Jacksonville wins by 7.
Exactly 7?
Yeah, so I'm going to take.
So your push of the week?
I'm going to push. Yeah, that's what I mean. This is going to be I was trying to think of something chickeny, pushy, golden chicken. Push. This is going to be the push that chicken into my mouth pick of the week.
I don't know that I like it.
Well, I'm taking the push.
I've never actually heard anybody ever on any of these shows or prediction videos take a push before.
7's a very pushable number.
I think so. You think Jags 21-14 is realistic? Because the total's low, 43.5. Well, not that low.
Yeah.
Push another
push it. I had to do that.
Here's another one that I bet, actually, and this sounds disgusting, but I had to do it.
Can I get odds from Vegas on the push? Can I call them up and say I'll take the push?
No.
They'll say, why don't you just send us a check? They'll say, why don't you just direct deposit us half of your paychecks every week because you clearly don't care about your money. And I'll say, joke's on you. I don't work.
What you could do is, you could take, what you could do is you could buy half the point for -115 juice, and you could grab either a 6.5 or you could take a 7.5. And then there is no.
Well, if I had to, I would take Jacksonville.
So I'll give you a -6.5 on it.
Well, I'll take Jacksonville.
And then I'll buy the hook and take Houston 7.5.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I think we're taking the push.
All right. What do you think about this one? The Patriots are 3-point home favorites against the Detroit Lions. And I bet the New England Patriots at home because that makes no sense. Bailey Zappi is going to be a 3-point favorite. We think it's going to be Zappi. I haven't seen yet today. Hoyer officially ruled out, but I'm guessing it's going to be Zappy. And now he has a full week to actually prepare. They're going to be able to run the ball in this game. I know everybody loves Detroit, but I just think that it's the Matt Patricia revenge game against Detroit. I just think, Detroit's all beat up right now. We'll see. I mean, without St. Brown and without Swift, they're just not as dynamic offensively. Although Jamal was awesome. I wish we still had Jamal Williams. Is that a hot take? I know everybody loves A.J. Dillon. I like A.J. Dillon. Jamal's so good in pass pro, and he runs just.
So you'd rather have Jamal than AJ?
I don't want to say that because I do like AJ. I don't know though.
When do the Packers play the Lions? Because I'll make sure I pull that question the week of.
Who would you rather have? Don't just throw me under the bus. I know everybody loves.
That's what I was trying to do.
And he has big legs. Maybe I don't know. I wish.
Okay, well here's my question: what does AJ do that Jamal doesn't, and vice versa?
They're both like the power backs.
Jamal's better.
Right now, I'd say I think I'd have to agree. I think Jamal's better than I think right now, yeah. I don't know.
Well, it's like the thing I said the other day with AJ. They said, well, he doesn't really get going to the fourth quarter. To me, that means you're bad 75% of the game.
He's there to wear down the defense, right? Like he's the change. Aaron Jones.
How many 3rd and 1s has he been stuffed in?
I feel
sometimes it looks like the top of his body's running and his legs are not.
I feel like Aaron Jones runs a lot harder for his small.
Those tree trunk legs are rooted into the ground on 3rd and 1s.
Dude, Aaron Jones is he's like a bitch to tackle.
Aaron Jones, he had this run the other day where I was like, oh my God, it was 2 yards.
No, I know, but he's like a ping pong ball, dude. He just hits the hole and he's so little that he'll hit the defender and it'll look like he's about to die, but he'll just ping off the guy.
Yeah.
And he runs hard for a little dude. I love Aaron Jones. And I like AJ, don't get me wrong. It's just and I get it. It's a rookie deal compared to having to pay Jamal. So, financially, it made sense. And again, and I agree. And AJ will only get better in the colder weather games. I'm not here to rag on him. I watched Jamal last week, and I love Jamal.
Yeah, it's hard to not be very impressed with what Jamal did last week. Yes,
and we love him, and he's a really good dude, and he's a great quote, and he's funny, and he's fun. And I met him at the Hall of Fame dinner, and he took pictures with me and my wife, and he was really awesome. So,
but on the same token, AJ Dillon is the greatest guy to ever walk the earth.
I like them both, and that's the thing. I don't want to. I'll take them both. I'll take AJ Dillon and Jamal. But
then who brought up this question? Why are we doing this?
Well, I texted you last weekend, and I just said, man, I kind of wish we had Jamal. LaFleur wants AJ Dillon to be Derrick Henry, and he's just unfortunately not Derrick Henry or Mark Allstott. Mark Allstott. Guys.
Well, I'm looking over. I don't think I have a double cluck of the week. I don't see a line where
you're not taking New England with me.
I think I have to make this my double cluck of the week because I don't see another one I like. So I'm going to say Patriots double clucking their way from a 3-point line to a 6-point line. I think what was going to happen is people are going to get confused that this is 4 years ago when Patricia beat Belichick, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to say that's what they're going to think. Well, I don't know if you know, but Matt Patricia, who was a defensive guy, is now calling offensive plays, and now he's vice versa against the Lions. So it's a revenge game for him. And then Jared Goff says, they are going to have something planned for us. We're going to have something planned for them. This is my double cluck, brought to you by Golden Chicken in Hales Corners, delivery and catering. 414-427-5500. The double cluck of the week.
Love it. Sorry, I had to go in the back alley and roll some dice. What's up, man? Shake them up, shake them up, shake them up, shake them with the 7-11, 7-11, 7 even back. Oh, Lil Joe. What's up? Funny,
you got any of that Delta 8 back there? I do. HappyPlaceHemp.com. Promo code Bart.
All right, here's a game where I bet. Here's a pretty big bet for me this weekend. I don't know if you know this, Sunday's my birthday, so I'll be drinking. And I'll be
Yeah,
betting
do you
on...
want to do a show with me Sunday? Probably not.
Well, probably not, actually, Sunday.
I don't know what I'm going to do it yet. I'm going to be out of town. Do I do it after the game? I don't know what I'm going to do. At some point, I'm recording Monday's show on Sunday. I just don't know when.
Monday probably would work better for me because Sunday I got some family. My dad's coming.
Yeah, but Monday I gotta get these shows cranked out at 5 a.m. boss.
I hear that. The Browns are 2.5-point home dogs taking on the Chargers. Justin Herbert did play last week. He looked decent last week. He looked pretty good. He won for over 300 yards. It was finally the Austin Eckler game, as he had 3 touchdowns in that game. But still, Chargers a little bit beat up on the defensive side of the ball. Joey Bosa going to be out an extended period of time. And the Browns at home, 2.5-point dogs. Totals 47.5. I bought myself a 3 minus 115 because I think Cleveland might win this game outright. It's the trap line of the week. Give me the Browns plus 2.5. This is my golden chicken mini tacos bet of the week.
And this is my...
We're running the ball all over the Chargers. Nick Chubb season.
This is my... Is that a drumstick in your pocket? No, it's a Chubb. A Nick Chubb. Game of the week. Give me the dog pound.
Yeah. The Browns. I love to hear it. All right, your Titans on the road. 1.5-point favorites against the dumpster fire, formerly known as the Washington football team, now the Guardians. They are terrible. They are 1.5-point dogs. Carson Wentz stinks. Everybody stinks other than Toby that has to do with this franchise. They're 1-3 at home. This is a tricky line, man, where like the number is telling me that Washington's going to win this game. And I don't bet teams, I bet numbers. So as bad as it's looked, somehow Washington is going to get it done against a Tennessee team that's 2-2 this season, but I'm still not high on. So give me Washington at home. I hate to do it.
I love to do it because you know my theory with the Titans.
Yeah, letdown spot.
When everyone thinks they're going to lose, they win. When everyone thinks they're going to win, they lose. The Titans are losing this football game. And I'm going to say by at least a touchdown. So I'm going to make this my triple cluck of the week.
Ooh.
So a 1.5 tripled is 0 to 1.5. I'm not sure what I'm saying. Washington by 4.5.
They're going to win by 4.5 points. I love it. Seattle opened up as 6-point dogs, down to 5.5 as they take some money against the Saints. The Saints at home, 5.5-point favorites. Andy Dalton actually looked all right in London. The Saints are so beat up already, man, this season that I'm a little worried about my season win total over. One thing I bet, Geno Smith over 8.5 rushing yards. Geno Smith has been awesome to start the season. I did bet
Better than Russ.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I bet Seattle +6. I think New Orleans probably wins this game. I hope they win this game. Need them to win this game. They're 1-3 this season. Things aren't looking very good for them right now. But I think Seattle covers the number. I think 6 points is too many right now with this Saints team.
I'll make this my guys. It's not that hard. Game of the week as a tribute to Drew Brees, the one guy who couldn't figure out broadcasting after his career. Drew, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Take the Saints -5.5.
You know what sucks? I actually miss Drew Brees, and I'm with you. He wasn't very good, but if you go from Drew Brees, Jack Collinsworth, and Jason Garrett in the booth, you start to miss Drew Brees real quick. I like that. Where's that? Where are you at now?
I'm in my Green Bay studios.
It looks like you're like producing music for the weekend.
Just playing with backgrounds.
Old stuff, the mellow stuff the weekend. I want to remind you that this weekend, San Francisco hits the road. They're 6.5-point favorites on the road, taking on.
I didn't say my big announcement.
What is it?
Coming up next week, I will be interviewing the bass guitarist from Electric Lights Orchestra.
I actually have a big announcement. I have a show announcement too.
What?
Former Green Bay Packer defensive back Lensley Pipkins is going to join the show next week. Also, we are actually going to re-air an interview that somebody else did with Jerry Kramer, and he's going to talk a little bit about the Ice Bowl.
Ah, good. That's what's missing from this podcast, Ice Bowl memories. That's one of those games, Horvat, where like everyone says they were there, but not everyone was there.
Do you ever think about like things like the Ice Bowl and think like it didn't even happen? Like Babe Ruth, like I read this. There's a dude out there, and I think he's like done a whole book. I should probably have Googled this before I brought this up. There's like somebody out there that has this take that like Babe Ruth never existed.
I've never met a person that's seen him play.
And exactly. Maybe the Ice Bowl just never happened.
Maybe it didn't.
It's just like a made up thing. Maybe the Packers really only have 2 Super Bowls.
My mom's dad, my grandpa was at the Ice Bowl.
Do you know they were bad in the 80s though?
They were bad.
They fucking blew.
I should talk to my grandpa about the Ice Bowl.
Can we have him on the show?
Well, I said, hey, Leroy, you should have my grandpa give your speech. And he said, isn't he dead?
Maybe we could get like a Ouija board. And
I've now referenced both my dead grandpas on the show this week.
Maybe we could get a Ouija board and try to summon my dead grandpa and see what the Ice Bowl was like. Because my Uncle Earl, who's also unfortunately passed, he did play-by-play work for not only the Green Bay Packers, but also the Milwaukee Braves. The last time a Milwaukee team won a World Series, which won't be happening this year because they didn't add a bat or two.
Are you so on this beautiful Friday morning? There's 4 baseball games today. Are you like into them?
No.
Yeah, the concept's kind of interesting.
I thought yeah. No. Postseason, I'm all in. I just don't.
But then all the game ones are going to be today, so it'll be like, oh, cool. But then game 2s are going to be college football, and then game 3s if they're going to be during NFL.
Yeah, I don't really care, to be honest with you. Like, who am I rooting for?
You got a World Series pick?
Yeah, chalky. I'm gonna go Astros over the Dodgers. No, I'm gonna go Dodgers over the Astros.
I'm going to take the Padres to win this World Series because they have Josh Hader, and that will just put a nice cherry on top of this poop year that was for the Brewers.
Who are you rooting for?
The Rays. I always root for the Rays.
I'm rooting for the Mariners.
Okay.
And, the Mariners.
I'm rooting for Yankees, Mets. I want some East Coast bias.
Kind of rooting for the Guardians because they don't have one, and when my team finally got one, it was at the expense of them.
I'm rooting for Yankees, Mets because I want people to be like, why do these World Series games end at midnight? Kids have to be in school the next day.
Over under 3.5 hours of the postseason that I actually watch, I would probably go under.
Yeah, I'll go over just because some of these games are in the day, and as I alluded to earlier, I don't work.
You know who does work? That thought maybe he wouldn't be working? Jimmy Garoppolo. And he's a 6.5-point favorite on the road against the Carolina Panthers. Hey, we said this. Baker is awful. He might be the worst.
Terrible.
League. And Christian McCaffrey, hold on. I hear people saying he's like washed, and he's probably not going to be the player that he was.
Not washed this year. Baker doesn't realize he has him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's tough to like he's running into loaded boxes because like nobody's afraid of Baker. I'm betting the Niners again this weekend, 6.5.
Yeah, I want to take the Panthers because I'm a little too, this happened with the Bills first couple of weeks. The Bills were, oh my God, they're the greatest team ever, and then I think they lost to Miami. There's a lot of love for the Niners right now on their defense, and I would probably take them against most other teams. I would take the other team, but the Panthers are trash. So I have to take the Niners 6.5 on the road.
Yeah, Matt Rule sucks. He should be fired immediately. There's not a whole lot good going on right now in Carolina. Philadelphia, 5.5-point favorites against Arizona.
Are Matt and Ja related?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
They should be, though. What do you think? What would I be without you? What do you think about the Cardinals? 5.5-point home dogs. Here's one.
Ja
Dude,
Rule, I love that band.
I like their mellow stuff. I would only bet Philadelphia here. Jalen Hurts is very accurate now all of a sudden, and he's very good. A.J. Brown should be a Green Bay Packer, but we're dumb. He's awesome. Miles Sanders is awesome. He shared the same backfield as Saquon Barkley when they were at Penn State, people forget. Eagles are so tough in the trials. Nick Sirianni is a very, very good head coach. And Arizona is not very well coached. Cliff Kingsbury sucks. They did win last week because Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray had a midday. And I'm going to pick Philadelphia. It's a chalky play. I think they win this game by a touchdown.
Regrettably, I am taking the Cardinals to cover.
That's the right side numbers-wise. They seem like the play here, but I can't do it, man.
Well, I want to take Philly to win. We haven't heard about Mercury Morris yet.
No.
So normally I wait to pick against the last undefeated, but they're the only undefeated team left, I believe, right?
They are, yeah.
I can just see like the Cardinals are bad, but they're almost like the inverse of the Titans in the other conference. Like if you think they're good, they start to suck. And they're the NFC Titans. I'm going to take the Cardinals here to cover and potentially win this game.
It's probably the right side, actually, looking at the number, but I can't do it. All right, Dallas, 5.5-point dogs. I'm taking another favorite here, actually. So the Cowboys getting some love. They're 3-1. Cooper Rush doing nothing but winning games. He's 3-0.
Do we know about Dak here as we record on Monday morning?
So
might as well be.
Let's see with Dak here, actually. I have not seen anything yet this morning. Have you? I know he wanted to come back week 5, right?
Oh, yeah, that was the plan.
Yeah, still waiting on this. I've been treating this game like Cooper Kupp is going to start.
I'm going to take the Rams regardless. No, I'm not. If Dak plays, I'm going to take the Cowboys.
Yeah, Cooper Rush is playing.
And Dak's not ready to go? Because otherwise the number would not be 5.5, right?
Right. And it would come down, but I'm gonna take the Rams here in this spot. They looked awful, so the narrative is that they suck and that Dallas, and Cooper Rush is the real deal. I'll take the Rams at home here in a bounce back spot after a rough performance last week.
Yeah, if it's Cooper Rush, then give me the Rams.
What about Cincinnati, Baltimore, man? I actually, because Ravens bounce back spot at home against a Cincinnati team I don't necessarily love, but it was 3.5. Now it's down to 3. And I'd have to go numbers play and take, you know what? No, give me, here's one I wouldn't bet. I'd have to stay away from this game this weekend. I'm going to bet I'm going to bet Cincinnati +3.
I'm going to take the Ravens. Sunday Night Football in Baltimore.
Just the Ravens like the blitz, man, and Joe Burrow is really good against the blitz.
Why would you take Cincy?
I just feel like they figured some things out. They called out
maybe, but not in this spot. Prime time in Baltimore.
Oh. Like I said, I wouldn't bet this game. I just want to watch it as a fan. I'll play some player props in this game.
Speaking of fans, I want to give a special shout out to this week's Golden Chicken Fan of the Week, the fan that ran onto the field and got decked by Bobby Wagner and is now pressing police charges against him, as he should. That was a take I was 100% right about. Bobby Wagner should not.
That lunatic could have had a knife or something like that.
He didn't.
But he could have.
But Bobby Wagner's intention was not to stop this guy from running around. Bobby Wagner's intention was to get a free hit. You know, like when you play pickup football and like there's the little runt of the group and you love tackling his ass?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Bobby Wagner did. So,
well,
I don't condone running on the field. I don't condone it. I don't condone it. He could have had a knife.
I thought it was pretty
bad.
I thought it was
pretty. I don't condone it.
I thought it was pretty cool.
But I don't always think the punishment fits the crime.
If you run on the field with a sign, you probably deserve to get truck sticked by Bobby Wagner. Also, it showed that Bobby Wagner hasn't lost a step. Really quickly, I'll say this, all right? I don't love this weekend of NFL football. I bet a bunch of college. things I actually bet really quickly. The Dolphins, I do like. I got it -2.5. It's up to 3. I bet the Texans +7. I love the Browns this weekend. I love the Patriots, and I love Atlanta. Other than that, not a whole lot I actually like this weekend, man. But let's keep it rolling here. But I guess I'm going to take, for show purposes, give me the Bengals. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Monday
man,
night, you've got the Chiefs and the Raiders. God.
Oh. Chiefs are or the Raiders are going to cover this number.
7 points, prime time.
Everybody in the mother. Everybody's going to be betting the Chiefs, you know.
Why do they always – these teams always play in prime time 2 weeks in a row? It happens a lot.
The Chiefs put on a freaking show against Tampa Bay. Andy Reid was in his bag. Mahomes looked great. MVS was catching deep balls. Everybody was chipping in. I feel like Chiefs probably – you know what? I might even take a stab with the Raiders on the money line here. They're 1-3. They need every win. I know it's early on in the season, but especially in that division with the Chargers – getting a little bit healthier, and with the Chiefs being the Chiefs, it's like a must-win game for the Raiders. I think they at least keep it close. Give me the Raiders +7. I'm going to bet this.
God.
I was going back and forth with it. I am going to bet this game.
I'm going to take the Chiefs. I'm not taking the Raiders. I believed in the Raiders last week and took Derek Carr over Jared Goff in a guillotine league, and all my players got scooped up today because I lost.
Ugh. All right. Main event. I don't know if you know about this. This game's in London. The first time.
Speaking of London, the Packers need to shut up.
Oh.
And maybe it's the media, but whatever, anytime they play like outside of the Midwest, are we the only team that travels? Every time they go to San Francisco, are you going there Friday? What are you going to do? I mean, you got the time adjustment. We're going to San Francisco. We're not going to fucking Mars.
I know. Why is it? Exactly. Well, I think it's because
they're on SpaceX to go buzz around the.
Well, I get it. I guess
we're going to the coast of our country.
Exactly. When are they leaving? Thursday, right? After practice today.
Yeah, Rodgers wanted to go early to experience the culture.
Hell yeah, he does. That's my quarterback right there. As you see, he's in the background here. And you know what he's going to do this weekend? He's going to cover the number because it's my birthday. And if the Packers don't win by at least 14 points on my birthday, it's going to be one very angry Ryan. We're going to fix up the run defense, say quads. He's going to have 15 carries for 42 yards and a touchdown. Packers are going to win this game 24-7. Thanks to Allen Big Game Lazard's 8 receptions, 149 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
If anyone's having 2 touchdowns in that sentence, it's Saquon.
What about Romeo Doubs?
Yeah, he does have a knack for the end zone, doesn't he?
What about Christian Big Game Watson?
Does anyone have like a London-y name that would work?
No. I wish EQ St. Brown was still on the team.
See, it'd be sweet if we had Patrick Queen, and then we could make Queen jokes.
Yeah.
I said, Leroy, why don't you get the Queen to talk at your...
She's dead.
But she was not at the time. R.I.P. Yeah, I'm going to take the Packers. Packers are not going to London to lose, and they will win by the 8 points. But they do need to stop bitching about the travel. It is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The Brewers did the same thing. Well, we had the schedule, and no, does any other state, like, why do we do this?
The Brewers.
Do you disagree with me?
No, I do agree with you. I don't get it either. I don't care.
We're going to Seattle. What was the game they just played? The Packers. Tampa? Where it was hot?
That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but in the broadcast, they're like, oh, they cranked up the heat in their Don Hudson Center for the last 4 weeks to prepare for this game. It's hot. You go and it's hot, and then you like get used to it.
Yeah, but dude, you did see that game in Miami between Buffalo and Miami. Like, that was freaking extreme. The players were dying on the field after the game.
Well, yeah, but like, there's not. You can't preparing. I don't think preparing for it prepares you for it.
I'm with you. Like, what do you like? Yeah, like last week.
Although, if you live in Wisconsin, -30 doesn't feel as bad as someone who like lives in Florida, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing you could do to, replicate or to kind of give the idea of that heat, like you can't like practice in a sauna. Guys still have to hydrate. And guys are still going to cramp up in those games. We know that. I do get like, okay, so last week in college football, especially, we had a lot of games affected by the hurricane, by the weather, So teams were practicing with wet footballs like that. I understand. But yeah, I'm with you with who gives
I don't believe in pain. It's all up here. It's all mental.
That's what Aaron Rodgers said on that podcast, man. It's all he went to a place, him and Dan Cortez or whoever the hell he's hanging out with now, MTV Sports, Dan Cortez, the podcast guy. And
I think it was Bill Bellamy.
And it was all, you fix things up here in the mentals, people with these ailments and these broken bones and ligament issues. And before they even worked on the body, they worked on the mind, the body, and the soul, Rodgers said. The mind and the soul more than the body.
Yeah, mind, body, and the soul. Some would call that the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
What I call the Holy Trinity is wings, drummies, and fries. From Golden Chicken in Hale's Corners, delivery and catering, 414-427-5500. 414-50. 414-5. Just, you know where it is. Go in there and say hi.
That's honestly, what part one is, I memorized the number, which is absolutely just great and also disgusting since I haven't lived there in 2 years now, 414-427-5500. But I don't think there's a better plug for a product in radio, podcast, TV, just history. The Holy Trinity. Wings.
Yeah, wings, drummies, and the, what did I say, the fries?
Drummies. I would have went with the breasts.
Duh. Yeah.
Is there anything better on this planet than breasts? Oh my God, we've been doing this for an hour. I gotta go to work.
Okay. That's the podcast. We'll be with you sometime on Sunday. Thank you, Horvat.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
See you, bud.
See you, man. The Holy Trinity. That's great. I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Drummies.
Drummies.